And they reached out to us and they told us that there was some unusual action going on with that fight. Do we know anything? You know, we didn't. So what we did was we called the fighter and his lawyer and said, what's going on? There's some weird action going on in your bet, weird betting action going on in your fight. Are you injured? Do you owe anybody money? Has anybody approached you to, you know, and the kid said, no, absolutely not. I'm going to kill this guy. And, you know, so we said, okay. The fight plays out and first round finish by rear naked choke. Literally the first thing we did.
UFC is under fire once again, and this time it's serious. Reports say the FBI has officially stepped in after shocking new allegations of fight fixing surfaced following the Isaac Delgarian versus Yadir Delva bout. The MMA world is in absolute disbelief.
Understanding is this is on the FBI's radar. How deep of an investigation is unclear at this time. This is all very new, but yes, it is accurate. I believe there's a gentleman named Harry Mack on social media who is having a nice little victory tour after all of this, and I'm sure he's going to have another one. I'm not familiar with his work, but he did write that yesterday, and so that is my understanding. And my understanding is that this is not an isolated incident. And what I mean by that is I have talked to multiple people who have either experienced or know of others who experience situations where they have been approached about their willingness to do something like this. So I have been told by multiple people that they have been approached, they have been talked to and said, are you interested in this? Are you interested in throwing a fight for X amount of dollars? Believe that's what happened with Darrick Minner. And all signs right now are pointing to something of that sort happening here. This is a massive issue for the UFC. And when you consider, now I haven't been told this part that I'm about to say, when you consider the questionable refereeing as of late, you can't help, I said this last week, you can't help but let your mind go there as well, because there's no other possible explanation for some of the wacky stuff that we have seen as of late. And it's very easy to do. It's extremely easy to do. We've seen it. We've now seen it in broad daylight multiple times. And I think what is happening here, adding 1 + 1 + 1, I believe what is happening here is people are preying on lower level fighters who don't make a lot of money, who are in tough spots, who are fighting in the major leagues, and they're offering them a quick fix. They're not going to like the top dogs, but they're offering a quick fix to the lower level fighters. How prevalent is this? I can't tell you, but I've now heard it multiple occasions in my conversations over the past 24+ hours saying, are you interested? And that's a huge problem. And so how big of a story this becomes remains to be seen. But this is happening in gyms, in private.
Trial, the UFC would stand to pay up to $1.6 billion in damages to 1,200 fighters who competed for the promotion from 2010 to 2017.
Ooh, I might get a paycheck.
Holy shit, dude. Do you have an argument?
No, I'm good.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
I'm not including that. I don't think
what they're saying. Like they did like some tactics.
Well, they bought out the competition, which is definitely true, right? They bought Affliction. They bought Strikeforce.
Is that illegal?
No, they do it in everything.
Oh, yeah.
But in some businesses, there's they will like break you up if you have a monopoly, and it seems to be at the very least connected politically. That's where it gets weird. It's like, how much money are you donating to the Democratic Party? How much money are you donating to the Republican Party? How much money do you spend on whatever programs they want?
Rogan and the entire MMA community are stunned because this might go deeper than anyone expected. Just hours before the fight, the betting odds flipped. Isaac Delgarian, once the clear favorite, suddenly became the underdog after a flood of suspicious bets. Then the fight began, and Delgarian was choked out in the first round. Fans immediately sensed something was off, and Dana White wasn't happy either.
A lot of delicate information to discuss in today's video, and you guys know how professional I am, so I thought I would weigh in on this UFC betting scandal from Isaac Delgarian's fight. This is where it started, and now there's a major investigation. The FBI is involved. A lot of people are saying there's hundreds of fights. A lot of fighters are coming out and saying that there's been a bunch of offers made to them to throw certain fights and to do something in this round and that round and to lose in the second. And even Dana White has given his reaction to this. So I'm glad that I waited to cover this, because Dana White has came out and given his take on the entire situation, because this is serious and I'm playing a character, and this is a satirical take on a clown on YouTube that doesn't really know what he's talking about. I'm a character. Allegedly is what's going on here, guys. This is what I need to mention before we start this video, but we're going to go through it. So this is where it started. Isaac Dulgarian has been released from the UFC. This isn't where it started. This started when Isaac Dulgarian lost his fight to Yadir Delval, okay? At UFC Vegas 110, Onama versus Garcia. Very important to note, one of the most looked over, like, irrelevant fight night cards of the entire year. This seems to be when these scandals happen. We had a similar situation for this when it was Darek Minner versus Shayilan Nurdiembeke, and James Krause ended up getting in a ton of trouble for this situation because of like some betting scandal that went on there, and was Darek Minner paid to lose the fight, and the odds completely shifted in an exactly identical situation that went down, and that was on a fight night card of something like Marina Rodriguez versus some other women's strawweight fighter. So that was another irrelevant fight card, and I think that's where these guys are going to try and get some stuff done, allegedly, if they did in the first place. But a lot of things seem to suggest that they did, and that's what we...
Moments later, Dana White confirmed he personally called the FBI after the fight, saying something just didn't feel right. He revealed that before the bout, he had already contacted Dulgarian and his lawyer about the suspicious betting activity. They denied everything. But after what happened in the cage, the red flags only got bigger.
With the FBI twice today. So that's the whole thing. Now you see people out there talking, oh, there's hundreds of fights under it. It's total bullshit. Total usual clickbait bullshit. IC360, our company, they monitor all of the betting. Like I said, they're the best in the business. There aren't hundreds of fights being investigated. All clickbait BS. So this company, IC360, which is the best bet monitoring company in the business, we've been with them for years, and we get a report after every single fight that we do. So for anybody out there that's clickbait saying, oh, there's hundreds of fights, it's all bullshit. We've been with these guys for years. We take this very serious, and we're watching every single fight that happens in the UFC, from the first prelim to the main event. So when this did happen, a couple years ago, whenever it was, that investigation is still ongoing, and now will be a part of this investigation.
My own reaction to it is when I saw the numbers that the FBI had and the numbers that they saw and the way that the lines moved is very abnormal. In fact, it would be in line with cheating. This gentleman goes out there, he loses the position, all of a sudden he's on bottom, dude's on top with a rear naked choke, and the most basic defense, which is to fight the hands, is something that he doesn't do. We get the information that the line had moved heavily, and the money that was coming in, it was betting that he would be finished in the specific round where he was finished. It is very odd that they would swing as heavy as they did in this contest, but it's equally as odd that a sports book would take that kind of action. But you come in with a $250,000 bet on a fight that's got a total betting alliance of $11,000. That's a gamble. For you say that's evidence, I agree with you and I see what you're seeing. But now let me ask you a different question. What is a gamble? What's a bet? And you're going to have to describe the exact same thing before you go and hang somebody.
UFC has since met with federal agents, claiming it's fully cooperating with the FBI investigation. But that hasn't stopped fans from speculating. Joe Rogan warned that if these allegations are true, it could destroy the sport. Once the integrity of a fight is questioned, he said, that trust is almost impossible to rebuild. The scandal has sent shockwaves through the MMA world, drawing eerie comparisons to the infamous 2022 case involving Darek Minner and coach James Krause.
They chose to continue, and that's from his perspective at the end. So because of the fact that Dulgarian said, I'm not rigging the fight, Dana went, so we kept it going. Even though there was like all of this abnormality and actual agencies calling him saying something's going on with the Dulgarian fight. What? Something going on with the Dulgarian fight? I mean, come on, you guys. I called him and he said no. Come on. Let's let this thing play out. Fucking $2 million on a baccarat table last night? Of course I did. This does not look good for someone who's like hooked on gambling. But I don't know if Dana would I don't think Dana would risk the fucking infinite money glitch of just no effort income from him being the face of the UFC. So I doubt this is going on. And I don't know if the UFC is involved. It just, man, if you're a fighter, and this is what it comes down to, if you're not getting paid much, or if you're like in a title fight, one of the biggest fights of all time, and you're getting $1 million or $500,000, and some entity comes to you, some guy comes up to you and says, $2 million if you get subbed in round 1, $3 million, and they've got $6 million on the fight. That's what I think, if anything, this is. I don't know if the UFC would ever risk this, but you know, people talk. People, I know it's rare, and listen, this is foreign concept to me as well, you guys. But people do communicate in real life, like not with a phone call or by text or by email or anything that can be like checked back and verified and traced. They do just meet up with someone and say, listen, this is off the record, we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? This is the deal, okay? James Vick, make it look hilarious.
That same coach, banned for his role in a previous betting scandal, makes this story even darker. Ironically, Delgarian once trained at that very same gym earlier in his career, adding another layer of suspicion. Dana White has now gone on the offensive, saying this isn't about one fighter, it's about setting a precedent. He's made it clear, if anyone tries to fix a fight, the UFC will become their worst enemy. And now, fighters across the roster are speaking out, many backing Dana, saying he did the right thing by calling in the FBI.